Good morning to you. It is February the 5th. It's just before 9 o'clock, and that means Virginia this morning is getting ready to go. Thank you for spending part of your day here with us. I'm Bill Bevins.
I'm Amy Lacey. Good morning, Mr. B. Hello to everybody who is watching us today. It is our midweek show, so whether you refer to it as Hump Day, Thursday Eve, High Point Wednesday, whatever you want to call it, we're always delighted that you tune in on Wednesdays and every other day, every weekday morning here for Virginia This Morning.
We have some excitement. We're going to tell you about it in a moment. We were talking about dogs and our pets.
Yeah.
And different characteristics and things that they do. And, you know, different breeds of dogs are so interesting, the way the different ones act.
Oh, but what I love about it, too, is that you can take a Chihuahua that weighs, you know, a couple of pounds, and you can take a St. Bernard, and they're both dogs, and they both have similar characteristics.
Well, the Chihuahua thinks he's bigger than a St. Bernard.
Well, and that's the thing, and then the St. Bernard probably has a more at ease temperament, so, you know, you just never know. But I love that dogs can come in big sizes, small sizes, and everything in between, and they have some of the same characteristics, but then very different ones. Too.
Just like humans.
We had
dachshunds for a while, and we had one. She was the runt of the litter. She weighed she was miniature, and maybe 3 pounds.
Oh, cute.
And a bulldog came in our yard one time, and she went after it and was trying to jump up
with the little short legs.
What are you going to do?
Well, I grew up with an English bulldog, and oh my gosh, they're still my favorite breed, but the snoring in itself is just crazy. But I mean, just so much fun. Animals make our lives so much better. And we have an animal in the studio today, so we're excited about it.
All right, let's get her going. It's customary for us to start with a preview. So right now we're going to send it over to Kristen Lors, who's going to get things started. Happy Wednesday, Kristen.
Happy Wednesday, happy High Point, everything. You guys covered it all. Well, hello, Mr. B and Amy. I'm always happy to be here, of course, with you. But today I am here with Robert Conqueror Roberts, life coach, personal development expert, and the author of the book, Conquer Mindset, Conquer the Monster. He's going to share 3 things that you can incorporate into your life to protect your peace. Plus, later in the show, he will conduct his MS push-up challenge. And Amy and I are going to challenge. We're going to try it, and it's going to be a challenge. You don't want to miss it.
All right.
I'm flexing. I'm getting ready for it. So.
It's going to be good. All right, if you're looking to enjoy a family-friendly night complete with comedy sketches, storytelling, and live music, the Wish You Were Here variety show is coming. It's going to take place next month. The event will benefit the great work the Pause for Purple Hearts provides to wounded veterans and service members. The host, Brian Dupree, is here with us along with Genevieve Tapone. And from Pause for Purple Hearts, she brought in Tom Berg. Tom Berg is a service dog in training, and they will share the details coming up a little bit later in today's show.
Oh, Tom Berg makes me so happy. We love
That's what got us started talking about
dogs, but what a sweet, sweet pup. Our seasoned team of meteorologists always keeps you ahead of the storm, providing great coverage, especially during major weather events, and we have one of the best who we get to spend time with each and every day. Today is National Weather Person's Day, and we want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to our very own Tom Patton.
Look at that.
Tom, we appreciate everything that you and our other CBS 6 meteorologists do. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish I had a medal that I could present right now, but we'll just have to take these words of thanks.
Well, to be honest, I had no idea until the producer of this show texted me, and she said, hey, happy Weather Person's Day, by the way, and thank you, blah, 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 for all you do. I'm like, oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah. That's a thing.
Well, we are so glad that we can be a part of the celebration. We can be the celebration, Tom.
Yes, thank you. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. No, very nice of you guys, honestly. Quick question, though. The gentleman with Kristen, were those really his arms?
Yeah, they are. So we're going to do push-up, and it's something that he created. So. Okay. I like to go to the gym, Tom, but I don't know if I have that going on, so we'll see.
Actually, they're my arms. He's just borrowing.
I see. Well, I would look like that, but as they say, the camera takes off 10 pounds of muscle.
Oh, really? Is that what they say? Okay.
So you just picture 10% more muscle, and there you go.
There you go.
All right. Let's show you what's going on. Happy Weather Person's Day, very nice, and we were given a contrast of weather between yesterday and today, a radical contrast. And I always say that's February. February is, it could be anything goes, I'm telling you. We've gone from the 70s to the 30s, this and that. We have a winter weather advisory to our north. This is for tonight, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Some of these areas could get a little freezing rain for a little glaze late tonight, and maybe even a little sleet accumulation in some of those spots. We'll get mainly some rain here later tonight and through tomorrow morning. A lot of clouds, though. The pattern has changed. We're at 39 degrees. You know, temperatures won't go up very far here. Maybe another degree or two ought to do the trick today, but we'll be pretty stagnant throughout the day. A couple of 40s north and south of us, Petersburg, Ashland, a couple of 41s out there. We have an east-northeasterly flow of air, so we kind of have that cold air wedge in place. And sometimes that's enough to give you a little patchy drizzle, maybe a little patchy sleet here and there today, but not much. But just don't be surprised if you do see a little light precip here and there anytime from this afternoon through evening. But it's later on tonight. This is probably after 11, midnight, 1 a.m. The temperatures up north should be around freezing, maybe slightly below. So your Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, parts of Louisa and westward where that advisory is could see, as I mentioned, some light accumulation of a little sleet and freezing rain. For us, we'll see some showers overnight, and then our main rain comes tomorrow morning here in town. And then everybody just kind of changes to rain regardless, and that'll kind of stick around through tomorrow morning. Probably be gone by around noon or so, and then we'll probably warm into the 50s tomorrow. So the crazy cycle continues. The best chance for any kind of icing accumulation should be north and northwest, but some of those areas could see just enough to cause some travel issues on the fringe there from some of our viewing area. As far as rain goes, maybe about a third, I say about a quarter of an inch to about a half an inch is safe in most cases. Could be a little more, a little less. But temperatures just flip-flopping all over the map here. From 40 today to 59 tomorrow to 62 Friday, down to 41 Saturday, up to 65 Sunday. And then next week's more of a level playing field. I think we're generally going to be below average for several days. We'll have several impulses of moisture come through. We'll be on the cusp of all of those, of seeing at least a mix, maybe some wet snow in some of them. And temperatures will start to generally get colder going through next week. So I know it's been up and down, but it's going to be a little more stabilized next week. But it's going to also be more of a wintry pattern, at least for that time frame. That's it for now. Virginia This Morning will continue right after this.
Hello, sunshine. Happy Wednesday to you. If you want to be in the know of what's happening in and around our community, tune in each weekday morning here from 9 to 10 a.m. for Virginia This Morning. We certainly appreciate the privilege of your time. I'm Amy Lacey.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. And I'm Bill Bevins. We always look forward to coming together to share the very best of what Central Virginia has to offer. When we were taking a break there a second ago, I was mentioning, you know, the winter's back now today.
Yeah, it was summer. Yesterday, you had the top down on the car.
Top down yesterday. And I mentioned that years ago when we used to have a St. Patrick's Day parade, started at Willow, went down to the Diamond. The morning of the parade on a Saturday, it was snowing. It got about an inch or two of snow on the ground. Canceled the parade. That was in the morning. Parade was supposed to start at noon. By noon, the sun had come out and all the snow was gone. So
sounds about right.
It can change very quickly, and obviously we're right in the middle of it now. And even though we had summer yesterday, we're back to winter today.
Sounds about right, though, because in Richmond, Virginia, you can have all the seasons in just a 24-hour period. So that St. Patrick's Day story, very familiar to each and every one of us out there, where, you know, in the morning you're wearing your winter coat, and by the afternoon you have on your flip-flops and your tank top. So, but we're getting closer to the warmer, consistent weather. And then we'll complain about that, too, that it will be too hot. So
I don't complain.
There's always something.
I don't complain about hot. All right. Thanks for joining us, folks. For those of you who are just tuning in, Kristen is going to start us off with a recap of today's highlights.
Well, this is him. He's a published author, innovative entrepreneur, certified life coach, and founder of Never Stumble Consulting. And he has coached hundreds of people and helped them develop leadership skills. I'm here with Robert Conqueror Roberts, and he's going to share 3 things that you can do to bring peace to your life. Then he's going to talk about his push-up challenge that brings awareness to multiple sclerosis. Amy and I are going to try that out.
Yeah, I'm already getting ready for it. I'm moving the muscles. I'm getting warmed up for it. It's going to happen just a little bit later in the show. Well, right now, meet Brian Dupuis, the host of the Wish You Were Here variety show. That's coming up next month. This family-friendly event will help pause for Purple Heart. Genevieve Timpone is here from the benefiting organization, and she brought in Tomberg, a service dog in training. I wish you could see what Tomberg's doing right now. So sweet.
Taking a
You see
nap.
the chest stretched out. Such a sweet, sweet boy. We will connect with them a little bit later on today's live show.
And we have more in store for you to enjoy, but you have to stay tuned. All right, Amy, guess what time it is?
The anxiety begins.
Time for this week's word game. Where'd that come from? Okay, for those of you at home, here's how we play the game. I mentioned a word or phrase. Over the years, you may have used that in conversation, probably so. The objective is for you to figure out the origins of that word or phrase and where it comes from. Today, it is left in a lurch. Not one you hear a lot anymore, but I'm sure you've heard it. Left in a lurch.
This is not my answer, but isn't Lurch a character on what, the
Like the
Addams
Addams
Family or the Monsters?
Yeah.
Left in a lurch. I'm thinking something with the Civil War era prison system. It just seems like something that, like a dungeon or a cell that was not very friendly. So that's what I'm going with. We're
Throw
going.
them in the lurch and leave them there.
Yeah, in the lurch, throw them in. So that's what I'm going with. It's probably wrong, folks. That's your spoiler.
That's a very
but
Richmond answer, though, since we obviously a lot of Civil War history.
that's just what you're supposed to go with your gut, and that's what I'm feeling today. Throw them in the lurch.
We'll see if she's been left in a lurch, and we'll maybe get another winner.
Probably
the
not.
First Wednesday in February, starting off the month. You have to stick around. We'll find out right at the end of our live show.
We are just getting started this morning. We hope to see you on the other side of the break. There's a push-up challenge coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back. Our next guest is a certified life coach, personal development expert, and author of the book Conqueror Mindset, Conquer the Monster. He's helped hundreds to stop coping and start conquering stress, self-doubt, addiction, childhood trauma, and fear.
We welcome Rob Conqueror Roberts back to our live show. Good to see you again, sir.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
I was listening to a song the other day, and the song was called Keep Your Monster on a Leash.
Okay.
You've taken that to another level. You not only have it on a leash, you've conquered it.
Wow.
And that is basically where we're going to start here, is that all the self-doubt and all of the stuff that everybody has, you got to learn how to deal with it.
You do, and I agree with you 100%. I was speaking with one of my clients recently, and she suffered from something called amophobia, which is the fear of sand. And as you already know with all phobias, we have to go down to the root cause. Don't pay attention to the fruit, go down to the root. When I spoke with her, she told me that when she was younger, her brothers and sisters buried her from the neck down in sand at a beach. The water was coming towards her, bugs were coming towards her. Her parents and brothers and sisters were just laughing at her. She ended up having a lot of anger, unforgiveness, and hatred towards her family, but more importantly, it was the fear of sand. We fast forward 40 years, and now she's seeing psychologists and therapists and taking a lot of anti-anxiety medication, and she's suffering. I met up with her one time at a park. Knowing her story, I gave her a tall glass of sparkling water, and I told her, I said, you know that if you heat up sand to 3,000 degrees, it turns into glass. Once I said that, she saw herself differently, and a switch went off. Something just clicked with her, and she jumped into the sand pit that was nearby on the volleyball course. Instead of doing snow angels, she did sand angels.
Wow.
So I ended up buying her one of those little hourglasses that you flip over with the sand, and a couple months ago, I got a photo from her and her husband, and it was them on a sandy beach finally enjoying a vacation. No medication, no
goodness.
psychologist, no therapist, and she's cured.
What a success story right there. And it really just goes to show we have this power in ourselves that we can fight that monster. We can take it down, and we can live happier, more present lives.
Yes, I agree with you, 100%. We do. We do have that power internally.
Yeah.
All right, so we started with coping and figuring out what you fear and kind of dealing with that. Next up on a list here that you laid out for us, clear the clutter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and I made up a quote a long time ago, and it says, sweep before you mop. So I'll say it again, sweep
Yep.
before you mop.
Yeah.
A lot of times we try to do it a different way, and we wonder why things get a little murky and a little convoluted. So think of our mind almost as a house with an attached garage. A house that's full of clutter, it makes it easier for a pest or a vermin to enter inside. So we look at this monster of fear, stress, anxiety, childhood trauma as that pest. They love homes that are full of clutter. So we see people who are extra busy and they kind of put themselves into their work and they don't handle things that are appropriate, and they wonder why they're dealing with this underlying monster. So if we have a house that's actually clear, it gives that pest no room to hide. So, when doing this, I actually think that, if we clean the clutter, we have to sweep before we mop. Now we don't leave those breadcrumbs for the monster that attracts them in the first place. A lot of times we look at these relationships and people say, hey, I married someone just like my parents. I can't believe it. What happens is they're not actually attracted to it, but they're so familiar with it because they never cleaned up and swept those breadcrumbs in their own life.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this, we really owe it to ourselves to just always be sort of that work in progress. And you say too that you should set healthy boundaries with love.
Yes.
Which is a wonderful thing to do.
Thank you. And the key word is with love. A lot of times we just want to set healthy boundaries, but it is with love. In order to set healthy boundaries with love, we first have to have what? Self-love.
Yeah.
And that's knowing your worth and knowing who you are. I coach a lot of people from different professions, professional athletes, doctors, attorneys, stay-at-home moms and dads. And I ask them, I say, who are you? And they tell me, well, I'm my position or title. So when I say, besides your title, who are you really? And that's usually 95% of the people say, Rob, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys do that a lot. You ask what you are, and you say, well, I'm a disc jockey, or I'm a TV host. Or,
You get your identity through your work or something else.
Thank you. And I agree with you 100%. And that's what happens. It becomes our identity. So we got to think of a tombstone. That first day is the day in which we're born. The last day is the day on which, we're not here anymore. Mm-hmm. But that hash mark in between, that's where we are right now. So we have to live in between the hashes. And when we do this, we're going to live intentionally. We're going to understand the internal battle between who we used to be and who we want to be, between how we think and how we feel. We have to remember that we have to choose peace over drama and distance over disrespect. So I always say that the most powerful moment in our life is the next decision we choose to make.
Wow. Wow.
Distance over, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Distance over disrespect?
Yeah.
Meaning what?
Yes, let's just say for the holidays, for example, I had a couple of clients who were like, Rob, I'm dreading going to Thanksgiving. I'm dreading going to see my family on Christmas. So I said, why are you going there?
Yeah.
Switch went off. Wow, in order for me to not get disrespected, how about I don't go this time and keep my peace by having a conqueror mindset this holiday season? And that's usually what happens. A lot of times we choose to put ourselves in places and spaces that we don't belong, and we wonder why consistently we're uncomfortable.
This is falling down. I want to put this up here. But, we really do, we have to talk about the
I'll just
fact-
hold it.
Yeah, let's just hold it because that's not working with us today. But we really do, we have to honor ourselves and because those traumas will continue to build up if we don't really take care of ourselves, and then we can't take care of anybody else if we're not doing that first.
Wow, and what you said is so heavy, and I wish other people would understand what you're saying right now, because we sometimes become a people pleaser.
Yep.
A
I'm a
people pleaser.
recovering people pleaser right here, so.
That is something else, and you're absolutely right. So once we recognize that within ourselves, kind of taking that accountability to say, sometimes it's okay to put that airplane mask on you first, so now you can take care of other people. I always tell people that it's okay for us to look at things from a bright perspective rather than get lost in the fog and lose our focus when we're trying to do something outside of ourselves.
fantastic. Always good having you in, and we always learn a lot. Conqueror mindset.
Yeah, I feel ready to conquer the day. So
We'll
thank you
find
for
out
this
about that in a few
conversation.
minutes,
Yeah, I'll be doing a push-up coming up.
For more information on this topic or the services that Rob Conqueror Roberts provides, just visit the link on our show website by early this afternoon, virginiathismorning.com.
And we've been talking about it. Rob's going to hang around, and later on the show, we're going to be doing a push-up challenge that he created to bring awareness to multiple sclerosis, a great cause. We're going to be happy to do it here, so stay tuned.
And this special Richmond event is open to all fitness levels. You can sprint, run, race, walk, jog, or even take a stroll. Mark your calendars. The 2025 U Crops Monument Avenue 10K, presented by Kroger, is happening Saturday, April 12th. Registration is open now. For more information, scan that QR code on the bottom left of your screen there. And now here's Amy's recent conversation with Beth Murphy from Bryant and Stratton College.
This segment is sponsored by Bryant and Stratton College.
When choosing a career path, it's very important to have the appropriate skills and industry training to help you not only succeed, but to advance in your chosen field. Our friends at Bryant and Stratton College say that they not only have today's most in-demand career degree programs to prepare you for job success, but that they are also built different for you. Richmond Market Director Beth Murphy joins me today to tell us exactly what that means and how Bryant and Stratton can help start you on your path to career success. Thank you for being here, Beth.
Oh, thanks for having me, Amy.
So congratulations on celebrating 170 years last year. What does 2025 bring as far as the next chapter?
You know, it's so cool to be involved with a college, an institution that is so innovative, that is constantly looking for ways to improve and stay in front of things. So what's next? We're going to continue to listen to our employers. We're going to continue to look at how we deliver curriculum, and it's always going to keep moving forward.
Built different for you. That is your campaign. What exactly does that mean?
It means that we realize that our students have a lot of things going on, and so we have classes that are delivered in person, online, remote, blended. We have classes offered day and evening and weekends, and that's just classes, right? When you go into financial aid, you go into the experience when you talk to an admissions advisor. Everything is done because we're in a structure that we're champions for our students, right? And so we're built to support our students.
Why should someone choose Bryant and Stratton over another institution?
Well, obviously I'm a little partial, but you, first of all, I mean, you talked about our long history. You're not around for 170 years without being a leader, being one who changes and stays with the times. We're also very focused. We're only offering the degree programs that are in demand. We're only offering the classes that you need necessary. So you're not spending a lot of time and or money feeling that you're wasted, that you're just killing time. And you also have different ways to get that degree or get to that career. So let's say you're interested in nursing. You can start with us at the diploma level and move up, and your credits will transfer into the next program. They're stackable. So there's many ways that you can enter your field with different academic credentials.
So 2025 may be the year that someone says, this is when I'm going to focus on my education. When they're looking at an institution, when they're looking at programs, why is accreditation so important?
Accreditation is one of those things that as a prospective student, you're like, so what your nursing program is ACE and accredited, so what that MA is KHAP accredited, you don't care. Your future employer cares. And when you're able to put on your resume that you went to an ACEN nursing school, that you went to a KHAP accredited medical assisting school, that means that the curriculum, how the whole program was structured, is kind of 5-star, and so your future employer really appreciates that.
So we know that a lot of folks want to register. You have a lunch and learn coming up.
You know I love lunch and learns.
I do too.
I think it's just great for people to come to the campus and be able to talk to faculty and staff and employers. We're going to have 2 employers on the 19th. We've got VA Hospital as well as Sabre Health. To be able to talk to all of those people in a non-threatening environment, eat some lunch, it is a great way to ask your questions and to begin to feel comfortable at Bryant and Stratton College. So on the 19th, we've got, as I mentioned, the lunch event, and that will have 2 employers, and they'll be talking about jobs that are open right now at their institutions. But we'll also have an evening event. So if you're not able to make the day event on the 19th, you can swing by the campus and talk to faculty and staff about your career aspirations.
I absolutely love that. You are built different. You are doing this for everyone out there and their unique situation. Thank you, Beth, for coming in today.
Thank you.
Remember, you can join Bryant and Stratton College for their Careers After Hours Lunch and Learn happening Wednesday, February 19th at noon, also at 5:30 p.m. That's at the Richmond campus. For more information, give them a call at 888-839-1718 or visit the website bryantstratton.edu. Connect on social media as well. Virginia This Morning returns after the break.
Welcome back to our live Wednesday morning show. The Wish You Were Here variety show is coming up, and you're all invited to enjoy a great night of fun and laughs.
Each year, this family-friendly show supports organizations in the community who are doing great work. This year, Paws for Purple Hearts, a canine-assisted warrior therapy program, will benefit from the event. And here to tell us all about this year's initiative is the host of the show, Brian Dupuis, along with Genevieve Timpone from Paws for Purple Hearts. And good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Well, let's start with the name of the variety show, Wish You Were Here. Why do I feel like I'm always telling that to my friends and family? Oh, wish you were here, texting them. And it's because something that makes you truly happy. You do wish you were sharing in that laughter with other people.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, it goes back to our first show when I was telling a story about a couple I knew, and he was always gone, and he would always send his wife postcards, and at the bottom it said, "I wish you were here." And so we wanted to create an experience where people can come together, and together we can have a night just to laugh and enjoy each other, remember what's important, and connect to a better story. So we do that,
show.
yeah.
A live show. In the notes we had for y'all, it said kind of a cross between the Prairie Home Companion and Saturday Night Live.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And a radio show that, I was telling her I was a huge fan of Prairie Home Companion.
Oh, yeah.
For years and years and years.
Yeah.
And obviously you were too.
Yes.
You kind of take that to the next level.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a new take on variety shows, and those aren't as common anymore. But so we do live music, and then we have a comedy team that does sketches, live sketches on stage. We use video, and then, of course, storytelling. And we kind of mold all that together and just create a great night, a great event for everybody, and a chance to highlight the good that's happening in our community also.
I love that. I love a good live show, too, because sometimes you just feel like more connected to who's on stage, and then hopefully the actors feel a little bit more connected to the audience, because there's some of that laughter, some of that banter back and forth. Yeah. And now you have a partnership with Paws for Purple Hearts. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely.
So we're Paws for Purple Hearts. We train service dogs for veterans, and we provide canine-assisted therapeutic programming. We do all of that at no cost as well.
Well, it costs a lot to train these dogs. Obviously, it's very expensive and very time-consuming, but the end product, the dog, and then the relationship is priceless.
Absolutely.
How long have you been doing this?
About 2.5, almost 3 years now.
Yeah. And obviously, we think of service dogs, obviously for a vet, it's a different situation than just a regular service dog. Does it matter what kind of breed dog you have, or tell us how that works?
We like to use Golden Retrievers, Labrador Retrievers, and a cross of the two. They've got very soft mouths, so they can pick up items like your eyeglasses or your cell phone without causing damage. They're a nice medium-sized dog you can take out into public. They're very people-oriented. They like to have a purpose. They like to serve.
Yeah.
And we have one here with us.
Yes, we do.
We have Tom Berg, who's here.
Tom's going to come over.
He's going to come over.
Oh, he's taking a nap now. Amy's giving him loving over there. He may not want to come over. Here he comes. And who's this with, Tom Berg?
This is our senior program instructor. This is Nancy Newman. She is Tom Berg's trainer.
Hi, Nancy.
And
How old is Tom Berg?
Tom Berg
She's not Mike, by the way.
Tomberg is almost a year old.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So he's still a puppy, basically.
Yeah.
And how long has he been in trainings right from the get-go?
They start training with us about 12 weeks old. They train for 2.5 years, and in that time they learn over 100 commands for PTSD, traumatic brain injury, mobility issues, other trauma-related conditions.
Wow, this is so special, the partnership that we have here with the theater and then with Paws for Purple Hearts. Do we have any special, I don't want to say tricks?
Commands.
Commands.
Yeah.
Thank you. Commands from Tomberg?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, drop my keys, Tomberg.
So they're able to retrieve items. You're going to notice when Tomberg retrieves the keys, he's going to hand it directly into Nancy's hand. A lot of our veterans, they have mobility limitations, so they're not going to be able to bend over. So we want the dogs to be able to hand it directly to them.
So he's got that down as a pup, a year old.
We want our dogs to be able to take the place of what would have to be delegated to a human caretaker. So they're going to be able to do a lot of these repetitive actions.
Obviously, this is a very personal thing. These dogs become, loved ones, basically, once you're through. She's not mic'd, but can you tell us about somebody that spends this much time training this wonderful, wonderful being and then has to give it away?
Well, when we have our graduation, there is tears, but they're happy tears. The dogs, they're doing their highest purpose. They've trained this entire time, and we want them to go to our veterans to help serve them and help their lives.
Because to the veteran, that is now, like you said, the family member that becomes part of them, kind of the extension of them, if you will. And I feel like Tomberg is fulfilling kind of his duty too.
Brian, we're going to have a live show. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so March 8th is the next show at 7 p.m. at the historic Ashland Theater, which is a great location.
Yeah, very intimate.
Yeah. It is. So we'll have live music. Sincerely Iris is going to be playing along with
Richmond Band, great
Richmond Band, Mackenzie Rourke and the Hot Pants are going to be joining us.
All right.
We have a house band, Little Tangents is going to be there. And then, of course, our KOTU players, Center of the Universe players, who are going to be doing some comedy. I'll be doing some storytelling. And I'll just tell you this, if it is not a great experience for those that come, just don't tell me, because I'll be very sad.
It's going to be a great experience.
But it's going to be a great time for a great cause.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will let you know that we all had to do 50 push-ups before we came in.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, so you've
We're
already
getting
done
ready
yours.
for our challenge.
Okay,
We're all set.
So-
I'm exhausted.
Thank you both
That's
for
why
all
we
you're
have
doing. Thank
therapy
you all
and
for all
help.
you're doing.
Right.
We really appreciate you coming in, and we wish you all the best.
And the Wish You Were Here family-friendly variety show is Saturday, March 8th, like Brian said, at the Ashland Theater. Doors open at 6:15. The show begins at 7 p.m. Tickets are $13 online, $15 at the door. Proceeds from this year's show will benefit Paws for Purple Hearts.
I think I might make arrangements to make it out there that night. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We still have much more in store for you to enjoy on today's live show, but here's a quick look at what's coming up tomorrow. She's an educator and is the woman behind City Bees. We'll meet and talk with Dr. Holly Freeman about a special event that she's taking part in. And the Hilltopper 5K is the Rotary Club of Churchill's biggest fundraising event. And we'll tell you all about what's happening there this year. All right, Amy, what's coming up after the break?
Oh, Bill, what isn't coming up after the break? I am here with Rob Conqueror Roberts. Earlier, he shared some insights on how you can capture peace in your life. Well, coming up after the break, he's going to talk about his MS push-up challenge, and Kristen and I are going to be taking part in it. She's changing now. I already did. We're getting ready for it.
Right,
you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We are here with Robert Conqueror Roberts, a certified life coach, personal development expert, former award-winning United States federal law enforcement officer, where he worked intelligence, tactical operations, and emergency response. My goodness, the list goes on. He invented a push-up called the muscle-to-bone push-up, and he's the creator of a nationally recognized fitness challenge called the MS Push-Up Challenge, which has participants in over 22 countries worldwide.
That's
Wow.
right. He created this challenge to raise awareness for the close to 3 million people around the world who are suffering from a chronic illness called multiple sclerosis. Now, we're going to catch our breath before we go to break. Of course, we're going to check in with our friends. Oh, that'll be after we
we're going to do this.
Get into our challenge here.
Yes, so talk to us a little bit about the reason for the challenge.
Yes.
Before we do it.
Yes. Unfortunately, there are over close to 3 million people around the world that are suffering from multiple sclerosis.
Yep.
And this right here is a neurological illness. It's a chronic illness. Right now, there happens to be no cure. A lot of people who suffer from this, they have the tension, the fatigue, the shaking, the shortness of breath, everything that this muscle-to-bone push-up is going to demonstrate. So earlier we talked about having a conqueror mindset. The only way a person can get through this is if they have a conqueror mindset. Okay. Just like the people struggling with this chronic illness, the only way they can get up and go use the bathroom, the only way they can eat is to have a conqueror mindset, believing that they can do it. So are we ready to rock and roll?
We can do it. We can do
it.
it.
Okay.
Taking it out during breaks. So
like I said, we were like doing our stretches.
That's right. That's right.
I love it.
So yeah, let's just get one more stretch in real quick, just to make sure that we're limber. There we go, and we're good to go. All right, we're gonna get into push-up stance.
Okay. Here we
All
go.
right. Excellent. Hands about shoulder width apart.
Okay.
And remember, it's all about your mindset, okay? If we fall, we get right back into the fight, just like real life. If we fall, we get back in it. Here we go. Going down halfway. And hold. 60 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. When your body starts to shake, it's all natural. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hang in there. 11. You got it. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yes, you are. So 18. Come on. 19, 20, 21, 22. Hang in there. 23. Tighten the core. 25. Come on. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Halfway there. Let's go.
Count faster, Rob.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 38, 39. One. Come on. 2. You got it. 3, 4. Hang in there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 10 more. Let's go. 1. Get back in it. 2. You got it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on now. 7. Don't give up. Hey, come on. 9.
I gave up.
Yes. Woo! Good job. Good hustle. Good job.
It was all up.
Right here. Good job. Wow. That is incredible. Great job not giving up. I love that fight.
Thank you.
Good job getting back in that fight. That was amazing.
It was all up here. I'm
Wow.
telling you what. It was all up here.
Yes, and this is what people go through every day, that tension, that fatigue. And imagine this 24 hours a day in your life, feeling that pressure, that shortness of breath, and you're told to act normal when you get out in public. It's very challenging for individuals.
Right.
Well, my goodness, if you have MS, we are here with you. My goodness.
That is quite the fight that they are mentally putting over mind over body.
Thank you.
That's what that
Mind,
is.
body, and spirit. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to remember, all things are possible if you believe.
I'm
Wow,
a bit
great
winded.
job.
I feel like you're not winded at all.
You're sweet. Great job. Good hustle.
That was pretty good. Okay, well, we're going to catch our breath. Before we go, we'll check in with our friends, Welcome Home Financial Partners.
Good job.
This segment is sponsored by Welcome Home Financial Partners.
You do your taxes every year. You always keep that April deadline top of mind. But when it comes to your retirement, it's important to recognize the difference between tax planning and tax preparation. Joining us now are Ralph and Tim Short. The father-son team are with Welcome Home Financial Partners, a Richmond area firm that focuses on preparing people for a successful retirement. Welcome back to Virginia this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So what is the difference between tax planning and tax preparation?
Tax preparation means that you're going to take your information and fill out that form of the IRS 1040 or whatever form that you're having, or you take it to your CPA or you take it to H&R Block. They do the preparing of the taxes itself. Tax planning means, hey, how can I minimize the tax that I'm going to have to pay? If you own a business, then you can say, listen, do I need to take and spend some money this year so I don't have to have so much taxable income? There's a lot of different things. And also for individuals, are you maxing out your 401ks so you can reduce your taxable income this year? Those are things that you need to take a look at, particularly in the last quarter of the year, because then you can make some adjustments to help you out to pay less taxes in the following year.
And one thing to really point out is that tax planning takes a little bit of time, and there's different strategies involved. When it's tax preparation, it's one day, right? Yeah. It's come April deadline. If you're one of those people that wait till the deadline, I know there are some people out there, you know, they just wait until April, they fill out the form, take it to whoever, and there you go. But tax strategies, tax planning is going to take a little bit more time.
You're talking about waiting till April. What about October? Some of us do that.
Some folks do that. So is tax planning often overlooked? Is that a part of the process that a lot of people just don't think about?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody focuses while they're working. They just try to save as much as they possibly can, right? There's a lot of companies around the area now that actually have Roth plans inside their 401k. So if you're not participating in that, you're not going to have some tax efficiency down the line. So, you know, it's not going to be for everybody, but there are some ways to minimize taxes once you get into retirement. And that's crucial because you're probably going to be on a fixed income at that point in time, and you want to make sure that you get to keep as much as you possibly can, because it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. So if your expenses are $5,000 and you're bringing in $10,000, well, if it's all tax-free, that's an additional $5,000. So you really got to focus in on how can we make our income streams in the future tax efficient.
And there are different investments out there that a lot of people don't understand that can give you tax-free income in your retirement year if that's what you're looking for. But it takes somebody that knows about this to help you plan for that.
So there are strategies that you can get in place that will help you down the road.
Oh, absolutely. But the important thing is most do-it-yourselfers, they don't look at that, right? So they don't know what the difference is between tax preparation and tax planning and tax strategies. That, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time for these strategies to work, but you don't want to start planning for tax strategies the day you walk out of your door of your employer, because at that point it might be a little bit too late. So it's really important as you're accumulating, as you're getting into what we like to call the retirement red zone of 5 to 10 years from retirement, you implement these strategies, and hey, maybe we can have all tax-free income in retirement, because that would be key.
Is there a misconception that tax planning is just for the super wealthy, or can someone with any income today get this in their mind that this is something they need to do?
Anybody can do it, but they need to understand what their goal is. If their goal is to minimize taxes, then there's plans to do that. If you don't really care, you just want to pay the most taxes that you can, that's up to you, but it's individualized.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think that it's all for the wealthy, right? Well, no matter how much wealth you have, you're going to have to pay taxes. So it's really important. It doesn't matter if you've got $1 billion or you got 100 grand. You need to make sure that you've got some tax strategies put into place, so that way you can minimize some of your taxation later on down the line.
When is the time to get this conversation started about tax planning?
Today.
Yeah.
Everything is today. You got to get ready to do your retirement. It takes time, so let's get started now.
And you have a roadmap that is available for folks if they do have questions. It helps get them on the right path. And what is the offer for it today? Yeah,
so the first 5 callers from today's program, if they've saved $250,000 or more for retirement, we'd like to invite them into the office, and we'll create their very own retirement roadmap. And Amy will do it on a complimentary basis.
And for you at home, if you want to make sure your retirement plan factors in tax planning, Welcome Home Financial Partners has a great offer for you. For the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $250,000 or greater, they are offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you. This will allow Ralph and Tim to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now. And it allows you to discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. Call the number now, 804-729-0112. Again, 804-729-0112. Ralph, Tim, thank you so much for talking to us today about tax planning.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with more Virginia This Morning.
Earlier in the show, we gave you the phrase, left in a lurch. You probably know what it means, but let's find out where that comes from. All right, this phrase comes from a Middle French game called lurche, L-O-U-R-C-H-E. I don't know the French. I don't know how you pronounce it. But anyway, it resembled backgammon. It used to mean being deserted and in trouble. And that's where that comes from.
Well,
Not-
that's incorrect.
Not
I said an old-timey prison.
a Civil War prison.
Civil War era prison. Like,
almost like that
let's
answer better.
throw him in the lurch, you know?
So,
I like that answer better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hers is better, but not right.
Bill, haven't I been through enough today with the push-up? And now you do this to me, too.
You're getting the mental
Y'all
workout
did.
and
And the physical today.
Right, that's
My
right.
goodness.
Y'all did fantastic. I mean, that was really, truly amazing. And you mentioned the folks with MS who have this problem. I know I've got somebody in my life that has this, and getting enough air to talk is a problem, much less all the things that you were talking about. And you said going out and being in public. It's an immense challenge.
Exactly.
And so thank you for all you do for people doing that, and leaving her in a lurch. And
And you did also.
Yes.
great. You did really good.
Brian also mentioned too, just the 60 seconds that Amy and I were feeling that.
He did a lot more than 60 seconds, by the way. It was
Yeah.
messing.
He was counting.
I'm trying to encourage you.
I think we did at least 75 seconds.
At least,
We
yeah.
were talking for a few seconds, weren't we?
That's right. Trying to encourage you through. That's right.
In that 60 seconds
Yeah.
that we were shaking, that's how MS patients can feel
All the time.
All day.
Yeah.
24 hours a day.
But it does make you realize when your brain is sharp and you tell yourself, I can, instead of I can't, you can do it.
That's right. All things are possible if you believe. We have to think about the final outcome, not just the situation that we're going through. This helps alleviate that stress, knowing that we've already won every battle we're going to face.
Yeah, we are survivors. We are fierce. We are conquerors.
Conquerors. That's right. That's right. Conquerors.
We are going to fight that monster today.
That's right.
I'm
Conquer the
standing here in a cap and gown. I got nothing.
I was just thinking, wipe out her shoes on. I know you're ready to do some push-ups.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Don't forget that you can catch both of his segments again. We will post them on our show website by early this afternoon. That is virginiathismorning.com. My goodness, we might even, Kristen, we don't have to go to the gym today. 60 seconds is
Got
all
my
we
endorphins
needed.
right here.
75 seconds. Thank y'all for watching Virginia This Morning. Thanks to all our guests who joined us again this morning. Our crew here did a great job getting all the shots this morning. We had a great time. We'll be back tomorrow morning with our live
Fist
show.
bump, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you at 8:56. Bye,
you.
everybody.